I know you tweeted about this, and it's one of the sound bites we played. The Treasury Secretary's out there saying that what we're in is a state of transition, not recession. And I saw you saying something to the effect of, okay, we're now at the point where you've got the Treasury Secretary suggesting that, recession is just a transitory thing. It's like yet another stage of our recovery. That's what she wants us to believe.
Well, they said the same thing about inflation, right? They like that word transitory. Inflation was transitory. The recession is transitory. It's not even a recession. We're just transitioning. They're right. We're transitioning from growth to recession. That's what the transition was. And now we're in recession. We've been in recession all year, and the recession is going to get much worse now that it's officially begun. And, the Fed is still hiking interest rates. Inflation is still pushing prices higher. So there's no reason for the economy to strengthen. All of the forces that have been pushing the economy down are accelerating and are going to bear even harder on the weakening economy.
Okay, which leads me to, does this work? Because if you look at how people are feeling about the economy, they're getting it. They understand it's not good. And some of the latest numbers there, they polled consumer confidence, Gallup did recently, and it's hit its lowest level since 2009 in the economy. 85% of people surveyed also predict things are about to get worse. They know it's bad and they know it's getting worse. And so I wonder, how do you square that circle, right?
Look,
they can't just stand up there saying over and over.
Walks like a duck and quacks like a duck. It's a duck. The last time consumers were this pessimistic, we were in a recession. Also, look at Joe Biden's approval rating. Just hit a new low. I think it's down to 38. But if you look at his average approval rating for the first 6 quarters of his presidency, it is the lowest of any president in history. Yeah. So why is Biden so unpopular? Maybe it's because the economy is in recession.
Here's what I think it was Biden said. If you ask people how they're doing, they say, great, I'm doing well. If you ask people, how's the economy doing, they say, oh, it's terrible. So he thinks he's going to benefit off the fact that most people, he believes are employed. He believes aren't feeling the pinch. Well, why, most people aren't feeling the pinch, why are they all shopping at the dollar store now? Where they used to be, it's not like they were all at the most fancy store in town. They were at Target, right? But now they can't afford Target. So if they're all so jolly about their personal circumstances, why do we see this number from Gallup? And why do we see the Wall Street Journal report on the dollar stores?
Oh. I think Biden has a biased sample. He's probably asking his buddies that work in Washington, D.C. and people in the Biden administration. And yeah, they're doing good. They've got fat government paychecks. They're living off the public trough. So all the people that Biden is talking to, yeah, I'm sure they're doing great. But he's not talking to real people who are struggling with collapsing real wages, with depleted savings, watching their grocery bills, their gas bills, their rent, their mortgage payments, their insurance costs. Everything is going up. And again, people are struggling, having to take second and third jobs. You have a lot of people who are no longer retired because they can't afford retirement anymore. So now they're being forced to take these low-paying jobs. This is a horrible economy. The bad news is it's going to get a lot worse.
What about gas prices? Because they've fallen. They're down now $4.22 a gallon, which is still astronomical, but it's not as bad as it was a couple of months ago. And the administration has been touting that as, see, we're making progress, withhold judgment.
Well, nothing goes up in a straight line. I mean, oil prices have pulled back. They're going to make new highs. And remember, we are dumping millions and millions of barrels of oil into the market out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Well, at some point, that reserve is going to run dry. There's going to be nothing left to sell. And then we're in a lot of trouble because then prices are going to skyrocket. And that's going to happen anyway once the dollar really rolls over. The dollar has strengthened during this inflationary period, ironically, because inflation is about the dollar losing purchasing power. But on international foreign exchange market, the dollar has been bid up because people are optimistic that the Fed will succeed in getting rid of inflation with rate hikes, and that's pushed up the dollar. But when the markets realize that the Fed failed, that it surrendered and inflation won, because the Fed has to go back and try to stimulate a weak economy, I think the dollar is going to tank.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.